Hi, my name is Sergio Rios Raso, and I'll show you in this brief presentation how to make a brief. A brief is a document that we use in the advertising field. It is made by a designer using information given by the client about a product. This document is made on the first phases of a project and it defines all its goals. Each brief has a description of the product, the enterprise, the brand, the field where it belongs, the graphic evolution, the competitors' products, the competitors' advantages, and the location of the enterprise. We can see that a brief has um, not always the same structure. So there are different types of briefs. For example, there's a brief that we use in the advertising field. Also, we can use a creative brief. In marketing, we have another different type of brief. And finally, we have the business brief that is a brief that we use when we are trying to make an enterprise. Even if not all briefs are the same, we have to make we have to identify parts, the principal parts of each brief. For example, we have the goal of the product or the service that we are offering, and the public for that product, the characteristics of the enterprise, the specific needs of the client, the key performance indicators that are the indicators that show us if the product is um, useful or not, the budget, the timing for the project to develop, the look of the product or the services that we are offering, and the technical specifications that that product has to have. Then we have uh, to identify the client. And for doing this, we have to know their age, their interests, where they live, their budget for acquiring the product, and their habits of consumption. To understand better how to make a, a brief, I brought an example that we saw on class. The teacher asked us to make a brief based on a little enterprise. I work in a bookstore and I choose to talk about it. And for doing this exercise, I started to understanding the basic information of the bookstore. For example, its name, its owners, how many people work there, its brand, its products, the time it has been on the market, its mission and its vision. Then I had to identify the public. I found out that its public is people that love art and literature, consumers of cultural products, people interested in local enterprises, and book and art collectors. Then I identified its competitor. To identify the competitor of this bookstore, I had to understand its products and how they were sold. Um, I understood that similar bookstores in the same neighborhood are the first competitors, but it also has other competitors as art sellers in all the city, mainly art poster sellers. Finally, I had to identify the field dynamics that the bookstore has in its area. Um, all this information helped me to make a visual proposal for the bookstore social media, which was its weak point in their marketing strategy. That's all. Thanks.